GPT-4 just got a new version in which GPT-4 can now see and hear. Let me show you what we are talking about here. So there's a viral tweet in which people are talking about the use cases of GPT-4V, right? So GPT-4V is the latest version in which GPT-4 can actually listen and watch what you are giving it as response. What you can see here is basically someone putting in a picture and asking them to convert this Figma design into a code base right here. And then they just paste the code into Replit, and there you go. You have a completely ready site using GPT-4 in just a couple of minutes. As you can see, उसने उसको run किया, and now they can just share this link and it is good to go. That's what the site looks like. Let's just have a look at it ourselves. So this was the site. I think they put the link over here.
Right at the beginning.
Here a link.
Yeah.
So let's have a look at this site. What do you think, Saransh? You did CS, right? How good is this site? Matlab for like a 1 minute build.
Never a fan of front end, but to be honest, it looks decent. What is it responsive? That is what I would want to take a look at.
Let's try that. Inspect. I think it is responsive. Oops.
Not really. Yeah. So this is something which you might wanna explore. So basically, अलग frames में, if we can feed that, okay, mobile में ऐसा दिखना चाहिए, PC में ऐसा दिखना चाहिए, and if it starts working for that, I think that would be a very big game changer, because that needs a lot of work. To be honest, like replicating a Figma design as it is relatively easier on a specific device. But when you think about, more global, ki, okay, it should be mobile friendly, for example, it actually turns out to be the problem.
But look at it, right? I think they can just put this line ki also make it responsive for devices like mobile, iPad, and that can happen. But the basic idea is you can get your designs turned into ready-made front ends in just a couple of minutes. All right, another use case of GPT-4V is this picture in which someone has just uploaded a picture and asked, how could I improve this room, right? So you can actually use it for interior design as well. And they've given inputs on how can the lighting be improved, how can the sofa, the artwork, the rug, the storage and other things can be improved, which is pretty interesting. But I think there are even better use cases that people have. Let's go down. Yeah, you can actually find hidden locations just like this one. So people have just put up a picture and they've asked, what is this place? Where is this place exactly? And GPT-4V is able to tell exactly what is the location, right? This is some island in Hawaii apparently. So that is also pretty interesting.
So do you know this guy who basically plays a lot of GeoGuessr and can guess any frame, any picture that you give to him? So there was this guy. So GeoGuessr करके एक game था which went viral during the COVID time. So what happens is that you are put in a Google Street View and वहाँ पे जाके you are supposed to guess कि map में कौन से location पे, right? So it can be a country, it can be a city, right? So you are supposed to guess the city or the country or even sometimes the locality. So there's this player who is really good at it, really good at it, and he manages to figure out कोई भी location. So there was this guy once जो flight पे था and he uploaded a picture, and then he said, guess where I'm going. That guy actually took this picture from the aeroplane का window and he figured out the route of that airplane, जो भी path follow कर रहा था, and figured out that, okay, since this was the location, you were going in this direction, you were probably going to this city. So उसकी job खतरे में है.
Very cool. Well, now you have all of that ability right in your pocket with the help of GPT-4V. Yeah. It's a bit hard to pronounce.
Even for the second use case that we just saw, right, interior design, it would be great if it can be coupled with DALL-E 3, for example, right? If it can probably edit out that part which GPT-4 thinks can be better, and वो अपने आप उस photo में चले जाए.
I think वो होगा. Yeah. I think we can put that prompt as well. So imagine that you're giving this image and you're asking for feedback, and then you say that please implement this and show me an ultra realistic version of what you think can be an improved version of this design, interior design right here.
Exactly. So that would make a lot of sense.
Very interesting thing. Okay, moving on. You can actually decipher the handwriting of anyone out there. No longer you need to guess what your doctor has prescribed you. You simply go in, upload on ChatGPT and just say, can you read this handwriting? And it is able to read that handwriting to you. Saransh.
So I am pretty sure this handwriting is actually quite good. तो मैं अपनी handwriting तो expect नहीं करूँगा कि ChatGPT sometimes even I can't understand. So
you can challenge it. So this is a very interesting thing. I think this is going to be very helpful for people who are trying to trying to correct answer sheets or things like that.
So in fact, one more use case that I can see for this is that interior designers can definitely use this, but then IKEA, for example, right? What they can do is create a plugin that uses GPT-4 and dalle, and they train it on their furniture, whatever is available on their stores. And यहाँ पे जाकर के basically it would start adding all the furnitures, all the decorations that they have on their store. It can really help them boost their sales and make the experience very interactive.
If anyone working at IKEA is watching this video, there you go. There's another great idea to make more money. Okay. So it can decipher handwritings. It can tell what location is this. It can help you with interior design. It can also turn complete Figma files and pictures into ready to use front ends and code. What else? It can actually teach you through any diagram, right? So for example, ChatGPT breaks down the diagram of a human cell for 9th grader. Basically, इसमें क्या किया है? There's a picture of a human cell, and it is basically asked कि I am a 9th grade student and I'm struggling to understand what this is all about, right? So ChatGPT now is giving context on what the human cell comprises of, right? As you can see right here, which I think is great, right? What image would you want to ask a question about?
Probably there are all of these accounts on Instagram, Detective Vyomkesh Bakshi, trying to figure out which person is present in the reels or images. It would be great if ChatGPT could do that too.
So that is one more feature that we have. Coming up next is this one. So I will relate with this, and if you have done electronic engineering, then you will relate to it as well. Basically, this is...
Even CS for that matter. CS. Even I created something like this.
So this is digital design. कोई app था ना उसका Verilog, क्या बोलते हैं उस app को?
There was Model Sim and Verilog. Yes.
So there was some application that we used to have through which we can create these diagrams for what we want our circuit to basically look like to achieve a particular result, right? So basically, you can take a screenshot of it and you can upload it on ChatGPT, and you can just ask, what is this exactly, and how does it work, and what are the other components of it, and how can I achieve this result with it, which I think is going to be great for solving questions.
True.
I wish I had this when I was doing my electrical engineering. So why it is going in depth at mega, oscillator circuit, decoupling capacitors. ठीक है, मेरे को सब कुछ भी नहीं पता क्या होता है. Okay, you can read parking signs with it as well, which I think is pretty cool. So this guy is talking about how, क्या बोला वो? I will never get a parking ticket again. So it's basically asking, it's a Wednesday at 4 p.m. Can I park at this spot right now? Tell me in one line.
Exactly. Why is it so complicated? There are so many things.
ये भी सही है. Yes, you can park for up to 1 hour standing at 1 p.m. 4 p.m. And the next tutorial, if you enjoyed it, check out my 5 AI prompts for writing. That's very typical of Twitter creators.
Influencers.
You can also use it for memes, right? So for example, we have this illustration right here. I'm glad we all agree, which they clearly don't. And then they work at their differences, and then they sort of end up agreeing with each other.
Right. I wanna feed some dank memes in there and see how it reacts. Like ethically wrong dank memes. And I wanna see how it works out.
Like कौन सा है? Do you remember anyone?
Let's not talk about it. बाद में भेजता हूँ.
Okay. So this is another thing that you can do. You can ask it to give you meanings of these graphics, illustrations, or memes as well for that matter. And it will give you all the explanation, right? What else? You can convert Figma designs into React components as well. So similar to the first use case, you can now use it. Just upload the Figma design that you have, which I think is this one, and it turns it into this. Let us read this first of all, right? So it says that can absolutely convert Figma designs into working React components. On the left, the design, on the right, the output. I specifically asked it to write the component in React using Material UI components and gave it the other direction. Gave it little other direction. It even correctly identified everything in the component that would likely be a data prop. I think that this is creating an era in which you need to just know a bit about all of these terms. जैसे I don't know everything about React components, but I know कि क्या क्या बनाना पड़ता है, क्या props होते हैं, क्या सब कुछ होता है, and I will be able to get things done quickly without me having to do it myself and avoid the human error as well.
It's like having an intern and multiple interns in fact parallelly working.
Junior developer hire कर लिया.
ये करके दे दो मेरे को.
You've hired a junior developer which is going to be GPT-4V.
Yeah, hopefully
right?
you'll not give him production access.
Okay, you can give ChatGPT a picture of your team's whiteboarding session and have it write the code for you. This is absolutely insane. सही है, बढ़िया. You can just click a picture of it and it will give you exactly how it works. Yes, you are an expert software developer. This is my team's whiteboarding session for an onboarding flow. Creating onboarding flow based on the given things. सही है, काफी अच्छा. I think this is going to save more time.
I want to see the output. How does it go?
Okay, let's play this right now. तो फिर
this one's just absolutely unbelievable, and there's a ton of little details here that I want you to pay attention to. So I mocked up this whiteboarding session here, right? This is just a totally fake example, but I passed that photo to GPT-4 Vision.
उसने बोला you need to write the code for this in Next.js plus Tailwind CSS. Take a deep breath and think step by step about how you will do this. Now write the complete code for the working one step at a time. Okay.
With this basic prompt.
So it is not going to do a step-by-step breakdown and turn this picture that you can see into a full-fledged code base.
So write the code for it. Let me set this down. And I really want you to pay attention to this, right? So it generated the code. I pasted that into VS Code here. And now watch this. So you're going to see step 1 here is enter your name. Check out the diagram here. So the model was able to see that I had these arrows and it actually flipped the order of these, and I wanted to test if it could do that, and sure enough it does. So now if I do a name here, sorry, I'm trying to type with one hand, and you're gonna see what is your email McKay. Okay, you're gonna see in this step I specified should refer to you by name once provided. So it flipped these steps, so it knew name, then email, and it knew once it got to email, it needed to refer to me by name. This is crazy. This is all on image. I'm just gonna put some fake stuff here. You're gonna see it's now asking us to confirm if we're over 18 or not. Still referring to me by name. You're gonna see I split that here. So one branch goes up here to show the site. The other goes to the second option here, and you're going to see I crossed sorry screen and instead put kid version, and you're going to see I'm going to click no, and we're getting welcome to the kid version of the site. So it knew that I had crossed that out and sent us here instead of building that. So just by passing,
I think this is more like pseudocode and logic that you create on paper, and then you just tell it to just make it, which I think is very interesting.
This basic, but the fact that it's flipped was very interesting. Like, I was confused. What does the arrow mean?
So I think this is a language that it will need to learn. कि अच्छा इससे उसको समझ में आता है.
Exactly.
So for it to understand your, language या फिर जो चीज़ है कि flip करने के लिए ऐसे arrow डालना पड़ेगा. That you have to learn. But I think this is pretty cool.
But at the same time, one interesting thing is that it, instead of asking for age, it asked, are you above 18 or not? So it only tried figuring out the important factors, right? It doesn't care about the number, it cares about whether it is more than 18 or less than 18, which is good in a way and bad in a way, because age हो सकता है कि बाद में डेटा में काम आता कहीं ना कहीं, right? But at the same time,
but उससे समझ में आ गया ना, यहाँ पे 2 ही कंडीशन बना रखी हैं आगे,
right? But saving it is a good idea in general for any user, right? So that makes sense. अगर कोई 16 है,
यहाँ पे specify कर सकते होगा, I think वो यहाँ पर,
अगर वो 16 है for example and वो kids version में अभी के लिए redirect हो रहा है, 18 के बाद like the user will go to the normal version अगर वो डेटा स्टोर किया होता तो.
Makes sense. But ये सब डेटाबेस में क्या थोड़ी होगा, डेटाबेस तो you'll have to still make yourself.
I mean of course यहाँ पे flow decide हो रहा है, but then it is an important metric जो मेरे को लगता है कि सेव होना चाहिए था.
Right. So these were all the new features that you get with GPT-4V, which can now hear and watch what you are giving it as an input, and it's pretty interesting. I think this is going to enable a lot of new use cases of ChatGPT as we are seeing right now.